Cardano, June 2022, Vasil Hardfork, pipelining. What does it all mean for ADA? What is up, everyone? Welcome to Crypto Capital Venture. Hit the like and subscribe on the way in. It means a lot. Let's jump into the Cardano video. This is a cool, exciting video because it's playing into this longer term macro story that we've been telling on the charts, right? As the fundamental story kind of collides with the price story on ADA, right? We're tracking both, and so this is not going to be a short term price video at all. We can dive into the charts and talk about what this potentially means for Cardano on the charts towards the end of this video. But I want to just start and dig into this new addition to the chart right here, the Vasil hard fork. And if you haven't seen, we've tracked these hard forks for a while now on Cardano in relation to the growth of the network, the growth of price, ADA price. And starting with Shelly back here, this was a huge milestone for Cardano. This was the transition to the Shelly era, and that was bringing into play its staking mechanism, which we are all very aware of. The Mary hard fork, which was bringing into play the multi-asset ledger. This brought so much innovation. This was like the birth to so many ideas for Cardano. The Alonzo hard fork, many of you are very aware of, bringing into play smart contracts, bringing into play the very era which we are in, that is Goguen, and also bringing into play and kind of marking on this chart just the beginning of a very, very brutal but normal downtrend for Cardano. And I say normal because every crypto experiences it, everybody. There are these seasons, but this is kind of the story that's been told so far revolving around these hard forks. You all know I like to track these hard forks, place them on the charts. And here we are with Vasil. So I want to dig into this a little bit and explain it a little bit in the best way that I know how, and kind of just allow all of us to get a nice, simple visualization of what this means for Cardano and its growth. And we can start here with a tweet from Charles. What most also don't understand, and that he's replying, by the way, he's retweeting somebody that's just basically saying Cardano is growing in total value locked. The blockchain is growing. And Charles said, what most also don't understand is that many Cardano dApps are waiting for the Vasil hard fork in June to launch to benefit from pipelining. We're going to talk about pipelining. It's like, what is pipelining? So it seems we ain't seen nothing yet on total value locked. We ain't seen nothing yet, everybody. How often as we're tracking just, and here's the chart on total value locked, the growth, and we're at another all-time high, 186 million for Cardano. How often am I saying this is early stage? And it is. And so if we're looking at all chains in terms of total value lock, you can see Ethereum number one, and then you can see Luna number two, and all the way down here, Cardano, right? And Cardano's getting some hate because of this. It's like, wow, Cardano's way behind. But Cardano is where it is in terms of its own growth cycle and in terms of the growth of the blockchain and technology itself. It's right where it's supposed to be, right? This isn't a race to first place. It's a race to be the best, right? It's a slower, long-term race, in my view. And Cardano is set up so well to just start growing. And that one of those ways in which it's going to do that, back to what Charles was saying, is pipelining, is the Vasil hard fork. And so let's talk about that. What is that? And before we talk about Vasil hard fork, let's just talk about pipelining, because Charles mentioned that. And this is from IOHK's website discussing the on-chain solutions for optimization and scalability of Cardano. Everything that's going to be just thrown into play for Cardano. Pipelining is one of those things. So Vasil hard fork going to help Cardano achieve this. Improves block propagation times by coalescing validation and propagation. The goal is for blocks to be propagated to at least 95% of peers within 5 seconds by reducing the dead time between blocks, the block propagation overhead. This provides the headroom to make more aggressive scaling changes, such as increasing block size, increasing Plutus parameter limits. So let's kind of bring it all together a little bit here. And there's this article. I'll put a link in the description from CardanoFeed.com. And I highlighted this piece, right? Obviously, the article is talking about total value locked and even mentioning Charles's tweet and everything. But the Vasil hard fork, Why will the Vasil Hardfork implementation continue to push Cardano's TVL, the total value locked, to the top? And what is it? And this is where it all comes together. Like, so we know the Vasil Hardfork is going to help with pipelining, but what does pipelining actually do that's going to actually increase total value locked for Cardano? The Vasil Hardfork is planned to launch in June, is named after Vasil Dabov, a Hungarian mathematician who is a member of the Cardano community and was particularly influential to Hoskins himself. According to Charles, the Vassal hard fork is going to bring in a lot of the Plutus improvements that people like the CDA recommend and what we've learned with working with Plutus developers. This will allow major projects like Light Wallets to move forward and other dApps too. Therefore, with more dApps and protocols actually being able to function on Cardano, there's no doubt that Cardano's TVL will continue to rise. And so that says it all right there. It's going to bring more dApps, protocols onto the blockchain because it's going to make it easier. It's going to allow them to grow. And it's just like we go back to our chart and we look at this and we look at the hard forks, and it's like every hard fork has been kind of a tool in that regard. It's allowing the network to grow. It's allowing more and more people to come online on top of Cardano to build, to grow, right? Even as a community, just staking, right? You don't have to build a company, you're just staking. So every step of the way, there are these milestones. And in June 2022, the Vassal hard fork is one of those things implementing pipelining, which is going to help Cardano grow. Now, one thing I want to note here, I was kind of just getting ready to do this video. I just think it's a really good comparison as we pivot to the charts now. We don't know what's going to happen. There's so much outside of just this, right? It's a very unsteady market right now, just globally. There's a lot of financial uncertainty across the globe. There's war happening right now. So it's very difficult to tell. We do know we've tracked the recent hard forks going into each hard fork. We've seen Cardano grow, right? Every single one, we've seen Cardano grow. Cardano's in an environment where it is oversold on the macro chart. It's ready for a bounce either way. With a hard fork coming in June, is it possible that we're going to get a nice little uptick? Maybe before some consolidation and continued growth. Maybe. We can prepare for that. It's going to be fun to track that. You all know I like tracking this data on the charts. But one thing that I really found interesting in regards to all of this as I was getting ready to do this video is this. It has to do with Luna, because I was looking at this, the all-chain data in terms of total value locked. And obviously we see Ethereum in number one. We see Luna number two. And it has grown, right? Whether you like the technology or not, it's sitting there number two. The data is in front of our face. But if we look at the chart, we also know it's been very hyped because price has been just really, really outperforming markets. I mean, look at this. This is a weekly chart. And if we take this, it is up 90% in the last month or so. And then before that, even, it's just been steadily growing, steadily increasing. And so it's interesting to see that growth on the charts as the TVL kind of makes its way up to number two. Will it stay number two? Who knows for how long? I doubt it. It's not going to stay there consistently for a long term. But my point is this: go back to that Luna chart. What was happening back here? An 82% dip, March 2021 to May 2021. An 82% dip. I don't know. I didn't take the time to go look at social media and sentiment on Luna, but I imagine a lot of people saying Luna was done for, right? And if we go to the chart on Cardano and we go back to March 2021, this is the chart, pretty sideways, right? So Luna just underperforming, Cardano just doing its thing, getting ready for its next all-time high. So my point here is, if you're zoomed in on the short term, and if you were zoomed in here on this move for Luna before seeing the long-term move, as it coincides with on-chain activity, in this case, Luna getting ready to take number two on total value locked, you're missing the bigger story if you're zoomed in. It's long story short. And I am very confident as I do this video, and I could be wrong, None of what I'm talking about is financial advice, everybody. I always got to say that. But Cardano is positioned to just rise on this chart. And I think it's best position. You might be like, dude, there's so many other chains on here. Like, why does Cardano stand out? Cardano stands out for the very reason that I've been talking about. It's their approach to building their protocol. It's the approach that they're taking towards solving the trilemma in cryptocurrency, in the blockchain space: scalability, decentralization, security. There's no other protocol, in my view, that is taking an approach that is as solid, as good, as sustainable as Cardano. And that's just my thought. And it's a huge part of my investment thesis of why I'm so long on Cardano, because I just think it's going to prove itself when it comes to things like the charts, because it's proving itself from a fundamental level, slowly but surely, right? Slower than most would like. So I think going into June, there's so much potential for upside for Cardano. Not only on the charts, we're going to track it. We'll track price and stuff, but just from implementing things like on-chain solutions and seeing it happen now, pipelining, right? This website has been here. This is from, I think, well, what is this? This is from January, right? And it's been discussing these on-chain solutions, and now we're going to start seeing them happen, pipelining in June with the Vasil Hardfork. So there's so much to be said here, everybody, but hopefully that just paints the story. Hopefully it brings the story together of just one thing that is being implemented to see the growth of Cardano as it sits here in total value lock number 29, the growth for that to be made possible through things like these optimizations and scalability solutions, things like pipelining, all through a hard fork that is coming in June, the Vasil hard fork. Gonna be fun to track. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Hit the like button on your way out. It means a lot to me. I'll see you in the next video. God bless.